Hello. You came straight as I unmuted the stream. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Link's Awaiting DX 100% No One Warp Out of Bounds tournament. Swift round 3 between xandertje and that was awful timing. I'm going to assume it's Xander, right? Anyways, and Sagaz. With me today, I have our two wonderful commentators. Say hello, you two. You can both talk now.
Say one more. Sound is good.
Yes, I heard you, Dan.
I cannot hear you guys. Shoot, hang on a second. Testing.
Hello?
Yep, okay, good.
Okay, cool. I don't know why Happy isn't responding. That's worrying me slightly.
I don't know what it is. Sometimes the sound will just randomly cut out, and you have to like leave and enter back in again and start working.
Okay. One of them just unreadied up, so... Oh, okay. They should be ready to start off in a second.
I'm hearing...
Oh, I guess Happy got the same issue.
Right back.
There we go. Okay.
Hello!
There we go.
Yeah, hi! Welcome to
there.
the land of the living.
Good to be back.
Anyways, the race will be starting up in 20 seconds. I'll leave it to you two to take over.
Alright.
That's good.
Okay, enjoy the stream, everyone.
Okay, we are starting in just a few seconds. First thing we're going to be doing is getting a shield. And then we leave the house. We'll see if anybody can get out of the house in 24 seconds.
That will certainly determine who takes the whole thing home.
I think it will. This run has so much RNG, but that will not come into play if someone can get out of this house in 24
seconds.
Oh, Sagaz gets it. Okay.
Incredible. Well, congratulations. Looks like that's the end of the race. Everyone can go home.
Yep.
Sagaz is your winner.
Look at this sink. Look at the sink.
Oh my gosh. It's neck and neck. What a
Yeah.
heated battle.
Oh, Sagaz is still a little bit. Okay, so first we're getting the shield. Or not the shield. We already got the shield. Shield has our name on it. Our name changes as soon as we steal, but we're going to get the sword next. So there's a couple ways of doing this. Sagaz goes around the left way. Xander likes to do a little damage boost that we've officially named Sonic Boost. Because apparently in another version, like the Japanese version of this game, those things, or the old version or something like that, those things are called sea hedgehogs.
Huh. Kind of like that. It's nice.
Yeah. So we're doing rupee duping now. So if they hold out their sword or shield as a rupee lands on them, there's a chance that it'll dupe. Xander is leaving the beach with more rupees than Sagaz, but Sagaz gets off the beach a little sooner. So we need 10 rupees so that we can, and a seashell, so that we can buy bombs and get some powder later. So first we're gonna steal, and that's how we're gonna change our name to Thief. Whatever file name they selected is permanently changing.
So, hope we weren't too attached to our one character names. Here on out,
we only see that once. Right, so we're buying bombs. We're not actually paying for them because there's a little kind of an oversight in the game's development where if you cut off the rupees tick down as soon as you purchase something, but you can interrupt that. So they save and quit to interrupt it, and that's how they get the bombs without paying. So that way they only need 10 rupees, and then they use that in the trendy game to get powder. So I mentioned a seashell earlier. You need 20 seashells to get the level 2 sword. Xander is just barely getting it, bro. Like, it'll be a little too soon. It's
It's a big problem if you aren't able to get the
if you
powder
fail
on your
that,
first time you have to go.
Yeah. If you fail the trendy game, the fastest thing is just to save and quit and go back to the shop and steal again. It's way faster than farming rupees in the grass. Which I did once. I didn't realize. All right, so I mentioned seashells. We need 20 to get the level 2 sword later on, which is part of the 100% requirement. 100% requirement is basically you need to upgrade everything that could be found in the inventory. So you need all the instruments, you need all the seashells, you need the lens, you need all upgrades of items, like including the sword and the shield. You need all the item upgrades, like bomb upgrades, arrow upgrades, power upgrade. So we need 20 seashells. There's 26 in the game, but as soon as you get 20, the rest just disappear. So as far as the game is concerned, you 20. Like there's no more after that. Yeah. Getting 26 is not part of the 100% requirement. You just need to get the level 2 sword. All your seashells disappear. It's as if you never even had them. So they got the tail key by doing a bomb trigger on Terran instead of using powder, which skips a cutscene. Bomb triggers are kind of complex. If you can get 2 bombs on the screen, Xander getting the pit walk.
Let's go.
That helps him a lot. Wow, he nails it. If you have 2 bombs on the screen at the same time, the game freaks out and triggers cutscenes and gets items for you from like really far away. Nice 414 enter and 412.
Very solid.
They're neck and neck still.
Both of them.
Really good entry 2 times. The game freaks out and triggers cutscenes, so we're going to be abusing bomb triggers a lot to get like items from the opposite side of the screen, or to skip cutscenes and that mini troll arm getting in the way. If you use bombs and arrows at the same time, you shoot a bomb arrow. So they're going to be using that as well to kind of quickly blow up walls without waiting for the bomb to explode. What else is there to quickly explain? Oh yeah, they're going to get the feather, which is the most broken item. It allows us to do super jumps. Oof, Xander having a little trouble there. Getting through the pits again. Xander master of pit walking here.
You'll see Sagaz coming up here is gonna at least try to damage boost off these obstacles here, and then save and quit after grabbing the feather.
That was
we will see used extensively in the rest of this dungeon and in the rest of the game. Yeah.
The feather will be... It's broken because of this thing called super jumping. With super jumping, you against certain ledges, like especially these ledges that you see in dungeons, are the best ones for it. So you're gonna see on Xander's screen, because down the lead, that's a super jump. So he jumped up high, and the game now thinks he's on a ledge. And if you use an item that like kind of pushes you in the opposite direction of the wall, you can. That's a different kind of super jump. I have no idea how that one works. And it's the weirdest super jump in the game. Anyway, so you use feather, or use like arrows or sword or magic rod or something to push you in the opposite direction as the wall, and you trick the game to think you're on a ledge, and that way you boy, Xander predicting the future here. You trick the game to think you're on a ledge, and it allows you to leap very far distances.
And out of D1, first dungeon completed. We are still very close. Had the lead traded back and forth quite a bit there, but at the end of the day, we're almost back where we started.
Yeah, pretty much. From here, for a little while, it's going to be kind of vanilla. There's not going to be like too many glitches. Like D2, I don't think D2 has a single super jump. Unless you fail the boss and you're trying to get back really quickly, and there's a super jump you can do. But, we will be seeing a super jump and or a bomb trigger in Tied again. Look at that.
Yeah, wow.
We in a cave in the forest. I think Sagaz goes for the bomb trigger. Xander, I think he also does. It only saves like half a second if you don't need to do an extra buffer. For bomb triggers, sometimes you have to do an extra buffer. So if you need to do that in this cave, you lose time. So that's why I don't go for it. It's just kind of not worth it. Since it kind of makes your bomb count kind of bunk-ass.
So after they kill the...
So Xander is not
going for it.
So Saga's doing a bomb trigger to get that heart piece, and Xander's going to do a super jump over there to get that heart piece there. So Saga saved some time, because he didn't need to do an extra buffer. Or did he?
I don't think he did, no.
Yeah, I didn't. I was looking at Xander's screen when it happened.
You'll notice they, after killing the keys in that room, they also grabbed the chest in it, which contains 50 rupees, which helps us for rupee routing, because we need 300 rupees in total later on to pay for the frog song, which is one of the songs on the ocarinas and is a requirement for 100%.
The reason we get the rupees so early instead of, well, I mean, it's faster just to get these, but we need them later for fishing as well.
Right.
We need just a few. I think was it 10?
10 just to initiate it.
Yeah, but then you get 20 back for catching a fish that has a heart piece in it.
Right.
Getting notifications.
Fortunate moblin movement from Xander there, so he had to take out the 4 moblins there in 3 hits, while Sagaz only needed 2. If they move in the right directions, you can actually kill them all with 1 spin slash, and that saves quite a bit, but it's RNG decides in what direction all 4 of the moblins move. So we get a pretty quick 2-cycle kill on the Moblin King there, and after that we get to save Bow Wow. It will be both our friend and our enemy for the next bit of the run. Right here you'll see Sagaz clips 2 pixels into that tree and pushes up against the rock. And when you push up against interactable objects while clipped 2 pixels into the adjacent wall, you can actually push your way through the hitbox using the text box and just walk right through it. Now that we're in D2, you'll see also Bow Wow was able to eat the flower, blocking the outside of D2, which was the reason we had to pick him up. At least right there. So Sagaz here is actually going to be doing a different route through... actually, never mind. They're doing the same. There is another alternate route to what you're seeing here. That changes when you pick up the powder and the small key, which is only a little bit faster. But both of them are going to be sticking with getting that small key early. And it's still a very close race. Pretty cool to see. So close so far. We're able to kill the Hinox there with just 2 arrows. Arrows are a very powerful weapon in this game because it costs 980 rupees to get in the shop, so I didn't really expect you to have it by now, so it's good against bosses. Right there you'll see, instead of lighting up the lanterns to kill the ghosts in that room, the 2 of them just jumped over and fired an arrow into them, which launched the 2 of them off screen. And once the enemies are off screen in that room, the game counts it as a kill, so that spawns the chest we need, which has the bracelet, which is the next item we get, and allows us to pick up these pots. Here in the boss key room, we need to kill these 3 enemies in a specific order. First the rabbit, then the bat, then I actually don't know the name of that guy, the little arrow shooty dude, to get the boss key. Then from there, it's pretty simple. Just make our way through to the genie boss fight at the end of this 2D section. Here they don't... Normally you're expected to pick up a pot and stand on that platform, but if you just hold the bomb, that weighs you down enough to push the platform down. Saves you a little bit of time. You don't have to equip your bracelet. Little optimization jumping across the platforms there, going into this boss fight. The genie boss fight is usually pretty tedious, pretty long in the vanilla game, but we have a quick way of doing it here. Payback's intro.
Very back, okay.
Okay, thank goodness. If we pick up the bottle and throw it into a wall while wall clipped, the game interprets that as the bottle hitting the wall 3 times, which is the only amount of times you need to break the bottle, and then we can just fire 2 bomb arrows right into the genie and kill him pretty quickly. Still a very tight race. Right, now we have to make our way to D3, but before we do that, we have to do a little bit of a couple things in the overworld, which include grabbing some heart pieces and getting some pictures. All fun stuff. Ooh, and also this upgrade here. We talk to the Mad Batter, or at least wake him up. Ooh, Xander gets the swag rock grab on the tile there. Here we're gonna say no to his first offer of a curse, which would increase our powder capacity. We don't want to carry more powder, we want to carry more bombs because we're very low on bombs here and we're going to need them for the rest of the... more immediately. We're going to need them more immediately for the rest of the run. Good to see neither runner accidentally accepting the powder upgrade. Okay, down here we grab a seashell and then save and quit to go back to the Mad Batter room. And now we really start moving toward D3. There's a seashell underneath this grass that Bow Wow will typically tell you about, but if you do it fast enough, you don't have to listen to Bow Wow tell you where to dig. It saves a text box. Right here coming up, you're going to see Sagaz fire a bomb arrow at this cave, and that, oh, unfortunately Bow Wow gets in the way, so he's just going to blow it up with a bomb. That saves a menu because we're just going to go into the cave later on after we get out of D3, and we need to blow up this weird head skull rock thingy anyways, so right there Sagaz enters the phone booth to set a save and quit point, so that when we do save and quit, coming out at certain points, we don't have to do too much walking. Here's a cutscene, getting our Richard picture. We don't know Richard yet, and we're not going to get to know him really all that much, but of course we'd love to take a nice picture with a stranger. I mean, we're not going to be on this island too long, so we may as well have some fun, right? After that, we make our way to the Seashell Mansion, and right now we have 5 seashells, and that gets us enough for the first prize, which is, you guessed it, another seashell. So both of them are going to be picking up their 6th seashell here and then saving quitting back to the phone booth. So coming up is one of the first RNG-dependent tricks in the game. Well, not RNG, but luck-based tricks in the game. It's called Villa Skip. If we pause... If we open our menu and continue to pause, wow, while falling in the pit and pause till we hear Link fall, we will get pushed down onto the bottom scene of the screen, and it allows us to transition downward. And once we transition, the game tries to put us on the first solid tile, which happens to be all the way down there. This allows us to skip getting the 5 leaves in Candlelit Castle and pick up the D3 key really early. You'll see Xander had a little bit of trouble first landing in the right pit, and then he had to have quite a few more buffers, but Sagaz just opened his menu right away and heard the Link falling sound instantly, so he was able to jump right down, which is very lucky for him and what you want, but can't really control. So right here, they're going to do another trick called Jesus jumping. If you pause the frame, you land on water, and you're right next to a transition. You can transition as you fall in the water and then buffer a jump out of a save and quit menu after that, and it allows you to jump from that. The reason we do that is because typically you need the flippers to access that seashell, but if we just, it's much faster to just grab that seashell on that island through Jesus jumping. Alright, now we're in D3. Sagaz has pulled away a little bit, but still certainly anyone's game. In D3, you're going to notice we kill a lot more enemies than usual because there is a specific item that's going to drop if we kill enough enemies called the Piece of Power. And what the Piece of Power does is it increases our movement it increases our movement speed, which is why we want it. It also increases your attack, which helps, and it increases your knockback. So all three things we want, specifically the movement speed. That's going to allow us to get through the rest of D3 quickly. As you'll see, Sagaz picked it up there, opened his menu to avoid a text box, and is now moving 25% faster, I think. Right there, he did a trick called the Dongo Skip, which if you do a super jump like we mentioned earlier in D1, with your sword charged, and then pink with your sword off of the Dodongo, you can skip having to fight them and skip a key. You see Xander just did it right there too. Saga's going for a shield bump there, unfortunately not getting it, and having to do a backup strat to hop down. I'll see if Xander goes for it right here. Looks like he's not, just gonna jump over it the traditional way. That saves a little bit of time to do the shield bump strat, but here Sagaz is gonna do another Dodongo skip. So the first one was to access the boots, which are the third item we're getting, the Pegasus boots, which allow us to, using an item slot in our inventory, we can run quite a bit faster, like charge up a little dash and then run very fast. Very helpful for movement, as you can imagine, through the rest of the game. Right here, Sagaz is going to fight the Slime Eye, which just split it open with your sword, dash into it to break it into 2 little slime eyes, and hit it 2 more times to kill it. And that's D3. The Piece of Power makes the Slime Eye fight much easier. And we've got our third instrument. Xander picking up a nice golden D3. Love to see it. Right here, they're going to dig up a seashell. And then make their way to the cave they blew up on the way to D3. This cave looks very cool if done optimally, as you can beat the cycle of the spark using the Pegasus boots. Saga's able to get it in both rooms. And we're going to blow up the wall here in this room to reveal a hidden heart piece. Xander unfortunately missing the quick cycle in that room, but still not too slow. But he keeps up with Sagaz. And now, unfortunately, we're going to skip the cutscene of Terran getting chased by bees just using a simple save and quit. This allows the cutscene to play without us having to watch it, and allows us to grab the honeycomb. You'll notice we gave Terran a stick to hit the honeycomb down with, but we never grabbed the stick. The game assumes you'll have the stick once you get out of D3 because you're supposed to have it from the monkey that helps you build the bridge to Candlelight Castle. Hopefully someone can fact check me on that. I'm not sure if that's totally correct, but either way, we have the honeycomb now, which allows us to proceed with the trading sequence, which is the main side quest in this game and what we need for 100%. And Sagaz is going to pick up another seashell as a prize for having 10 seashells. We're having a lot of seashells in this split. Before we go to D4, we need to do a lot of little tasks in the overworld. But just through all that, we're going to be having most of the time our Pegasus boots on. Just allows us to move quickly. Into the animal village here, Sagaz is going to trade his honeycomb away for a pineapple. You know, as one does. And use another pair of save and quit menus to skip, not a cutscene, but some text boxes and the animation of Link getting the pineapple. A little bit of time save. Similar to what we did when talking to Terran. And we're going to take this warp back to Mabe Village and head upward toward the Dream Shrine. And in the Dream Shrine, we're going to grab the Ocarina, which we need for 100% and for a couple things later on, once we get the second song. Sagaz is going to do here what we call a naked super jump, so anyone embarrassed, don't watch. So what he did right there was clip into the horizontal wall there and facing away from the wall. And typically you want to fire a weapon away from the wall when you're doing a super jump as you're clipped, but for naked super jumps you can just push away from the wall after you jump, so long as you're not facing toward the wall, and the game thinks you're falling off of a ledge, and once again sends you flying, and that allows us to skip pretty much the entire Dream Shrine. Now is for definitively the best part of the entire game, fishing. I mean, if you disagree, you've never gone fishing before, we're going to pick up the first fish and let it get away, so we can make room to get the big clunker, who gives us a heart piece and some more rupees. And that heart piece is actually our fourth, so we get a new heart container, and that allows us to avoid a text box that we would normally get for getting 4 heart pieces. Right here we have to say goodbye to Bow Wow, unfortunately, as we return him to Madam Meow Meow? I think it's Madam, Lady Meow Meow. We return him to his owner, and then we grab a cute little picture with him. It's apparently RNG how long this cutscene takes, but I never really can tell. Gonna run down, grab another cutscene here with, I think his name's Ulrira. There's lots of pictures in this split, or at least in this section before going into D4, because we have quite a few pictures and seashells and items hanging around Mabe Village. Sagaz unfortunately falling in the pit there, but gets over at the second time and is going to bonk into this tree, which has a seashell hiding in it for some reason. Sagaz is going to boots his way over to the beach here. Talk to Marin and go on a nice little, maybe it's a little date, who knows, but just talk to Marin here about, wonders of life, deep introspection, seagulls, the works. This is nice. This is nice and peaceful. Good bit of respite from all the dungeons and all the evil and all the monsters. Just some time to stare at the beach, enjoy the view. All right. Anyways, done with that. Let's go. Come on, Marin. We've got places to go. We're gonna fall into this well here. Marin is going to. Well, we're going to break Marin's fall. Get a picture. And also a heart piece. 2 birds with 1 stone. We're going to head down for, guess what? Another picture at the cliff here. Which we can only get when we have Marin, which is why we're doing it now. Or at least, I shouldn't say when we have Marin, I should say when Marin is following us. It's kind of weird to say when we have Marin. And Link's very stoic, frog-like face. If I could have it my way, we'd stay at the beach the entire game. But unfortunately, that is not what speedrunning in this tournament is about. So, c'est la vie. And wouldn't you know it, Sagaz is grabbing another picture here by the rooster statue. I'm going to say something here because I've never gotten the chance to. I always used to think the statue of the rooster, I couldn't tell that bottom white part on his face was his beak, and the top white part was like a head thing like roosters have. I thought those were both parts of his beak, and he was just screaming. I thought that's what it was, and obviously that's not what it looks like, but now I can't unsee it. Anyways, we're going to make our way back to Animal Village to wake up the walrus. And normally we would get Marin to sing to wake up the walrus, but that's a little slow, so instead we're going to do a bomb trigger, which activates the walrus cutscene. It saves time because we don't have to walk up to the walrus, and also you'll see after the walrus falls in, a couple of animals and Marin walk backward toward the left side of the screen. And if Marin's over there, it doesn't take as long. Chat is a bit quiet, but that's okay. Not gonna stop me talking. After we get into this cave, blow it up with a bomb, we're going to do another bomb trigger just to grab that heart piece quickly. And then make our way toward Land Mola, which is apparently a boss that you can fight in this room. But I've never seen it. You just fire 2 arrows into the center of the room and skip some text boxes and... Yeah, come on, chat, speak up. I can barely hear you. And shoot a bomb arrow at that very inconspicuous wall to grab yet another heart piece. And they're having a little bit of trouble with the Land Mola fight, but getting it eventually. Sagaz making his way down to another seashell here at the bottom of the desert. And they're picking up his seashell, and we'll be going through that same owl cutscene as Sagaz makes his way up toward Marin here, who's singing for the animals. That's kind of nice. And as she sings her song, we're going to learn it on the ocarina. Yeah, very good stuff, Xander. Making sure to say hi to all the walls and rocks. Which sound are we using? Let me find out. We're using Xander's. So Sagaz has the first song learned. Unfortunately, we're not going to be using that at all through the run. Just have no use for it. Now we get a bit of movement as we make our way toward the D4 entrance. Sagaz is going to do a little bit of a bonk off that rock to jump over that pit, even though he doesn't have the feather equipped, and then another bonk across off the tree to get across that pit. Save just a little bit of time from compared to going around. Sagaz is gonna, guess he's not. Usually you go, yep, he just forgot, or just remembered that you usually go up here to save a save and quit point after you insert the key, so Xander's gonna gain a little bit on him off that, assuming he does not also forget to set a save and quit point. It's like he's remembering. Sagaz having a little bit of trouble with his movement and with the Moblin movement. Don't have any weapons equipped right now, so we can't exactly do anything about them besides walk in specific ways to try and not get hit. Xander having a good time with the movement there. And now we save and quit back to that cave that we set our point at. Coming up here for Sagaz is the most important trick in the game. Let's see if he gets it. Piece of cake. Obstacle skip. Saves a quarter of a second. Runs dead otherwise, so thank goodness he got it. Time for Xander. Not a problem. I mean, what would you expect? Saga's going to enter and leave this cave to set another save and quit point. And then head to the right here to... Oh, I forgot to mention, we do a Jesus jump to access this area earlier than intended. Pausing the frame, we touch the water, and then buffering jump out of that allows us to jump off of water and then effectively jump off the staircase. Or jump up the staircase. And as the mouse falls to his death, we get another picture from him, so thankfully it wasn't in vain. And we're going to save and quit back to this cave, which contains the D7 key in it. And we're going to do a very tough trick called early rooster skip. Normally, in the vanilla game, you'd wake up the rooster that sleeps underneath the statue in Mabe Village and use it to fly across this gap here. But, oh, unfortunately, Xander falling in the pit there. Sagaz nailing early rooster skip. And that allows us to get the D7 key early. Much earlier than intended. Because we're not going to use that until we, well, get to D7, which won't be for a while. And what we do here is buffer our map till we get to a specific pixel. And then pause till we hear Link fall. Use our shovel as we dash, which dashes us in place, then then jump out of that, and allows us to skip right over that pit. Very cool skip. Both of them doing it quickly enough. Xander unfortunately falling, but getting a very quick rooster skip after that. And that allows them to get, to fall toward D4. D4 is a pretty short dungeon. We don't have to do too much because of this Jesus jump right here. We can transition on water despite not having the flippers and then jump out of it. And then all we have to do is solve this quote-unquote puzzle. You just kind of walk toward tiles and open this chest to get the flipper, which will allow us to swim and make getting to places much easier. Xander, ooh, well done from Xander there. Buffered frame perfectly the first time, but noticed he was one pixel away from the transition, and then so instead of trying to transition, he jumped to the left and then paused frame perfectly again, so didn't lose too much time. Saga's there, unfortunately I talked over it, did jump to get to the boss key early by super jumping and then pinking off the P hat, which looks like Xander's going to be going for as well. See if he gets it. Oh, unfortunately, he had the right setup, but just wasn't able to get the super jump out. Sagaz, after firing just 2 bomb arrows and a sword slash into the anglerfish, is able to beat it and grab the D4 instrument. Xander's getting it the second try, fortunately. He's going to be killing the boss just as quickly. Yeah, it looks like you had the trick, looked like Xander had the trick set up well enough. But just, this game, what it does to you. Sagaz will be indulging in the best song in the game. So Xander will be doing so soon, and I'll be silent for that, as it's our national anthem. Xander, at least the ERS was good. It would have stunk if it was like 15 buffers. In a race setting, it's not too bad, but oh, all rise. Just beautiful music. Okay, I'm fine. Alright, now that we have Mambo's Mambo, we can make our way over to this cave, which has a heart piece hiding in it. Normally you're supposed to get this after falling from the D7 cliffs, but we just grab it now for time's sake, obviously, and get another heart container. You'll notice Sagaz now, after warping to Animal Village, has a ghost following him. And in other categories, we just ignore the ghost by doing D4 and 2 visits, but we can't do that in this category, unfortunately. So instead, we're going to do a couple things as we return the ghost to his house and then subsequently to his grave. But before that, we need to do a bomb trigger here in this room to activate the cutscene where we get the mermaid's bra. For some reason, the wall on the side of the underneath the bridge is considered a pit, and when you drop bombs, that's another way of doing a bomb trigger, is if you drop bombs into a pit rapidly, the game does a bomb trigger, allowing you to activate cutscenes. Saga's here, talking to the mermaid, giving her back, and then grabbing a scale from her tail, and saving, quitting back to the little house. Right here he's going to do, at least try, to do Zora Bump. Zora Bump is a trick to allow us to get the lens early. You can use either the Zora or his little fireballs to land inside the cliff there, and do a super jump over to the other side. Typically, you're supposed to get across with a hook shot, but if we super jump, we could just barely make it over. If you get caught on the wall, you can just dash out like Sagaz did there, insert the scale into the mermaid statue, and grab the magnifying lens, which is the last item we need before we complete the trading sequence. Hopefully Xander can get a little bit cleaner of a Zora Bump. Looks like he got it. Quicker than Sagaz, so he gains a bit of time there. Sagaz is going to be talking to the fisherman once more to activate this cutscene where we get another picture as he hoists up the corpse of the mouse that we saw fall off the cliff. There's no way he could have survived that. I mean, are you kidding? But we need it for 100%, so we get it. Pass by D5 real quick as we make our way toward the house of the ghost, of our ghostly friend. But of course, the ghost is not satisfied. Even after we do all this for him, he still needs us to return him to his grave. I mean, he's a ghost, like, can he do it on his own? Nah, whatever. Gives us something to do as we head toward the cave here on the left of the beach, or on the right of the beach, to our left. Inside this cave, we will meet a little dude who we can trade our shovel away for the boomerang. And we need the magnifying lens in order to be able to see him. And now that we have the boomerang, we've done another 100% completion requirement just to get the boomerang. And the boomerang is another very overpowered item because, I mean, you went to a lot of trouble to get it. It ought to be overpowered. Can one-shot plenty of enemies and do lots of damage to other things, allow us to transcend physical reality by morphing through, by itself morphing through obstacles, as you're going to see coming up. Can also destroy bushes, which is pretty cool for a boomerang, if you ask me. Before that, we make our way through a couple caves and pathways to talk once more to our friend the Mad Batter, who once again is going to offer us first to upgrade our powder capacity, but we're going to say no and instead go with an arrow capacity upgrade because we have 0 arrows right now, and that's not good. We need more arrows, much more than we need more powder. But you'll see here the first use of Mambo's Mambo from Sagaz, the second song on the ocarina, which warps us back to Mambo's Pond, just outside the, the wastelands near the graveyard, which is good because we need to go to the graves. Xander's still not too far behind. This is certainly still anyone's race, as we have a couple tricks coming up that can really decide the fate of the run. Not exactly coming up, but soon, so certainly not out of the Sagaz is not out of the woods, and Xander is not out of luck. But before we can get to that, we need to get yet another picture. This one with our ghostly friend, after returning him to his grave. This one's kind of a nice picture. I don't know. I feel like there are better pictures. Anyway. After that, we are primed and in place, defacing the dead. It's it could be a little offensive. Like I said, the boomerang transmutes space and time to be able to just go right through those rocks there and pick up another piece of heart. If you push these graves in certain directions, you open up the entrance to the color dungeon, otherwise known as D0, which is an exclusive to the DX version of this game. Well, I guess it's in the Switch remake too, but it was new. It was exclusive before that version came out. The color dungeon, our 5th dungeon, is not the most exciting of the dungeons, but still fun to watch. Sagaz is going to blow up the wall here to reveal tons of rupees. And the special thing about these rupees is they're stored in a specific part of the game's memory that's going to allow us to hard reset later on and respawn all those rupees, which is what will be necessary to get 300 rupees later on when we get the frog song. We go down there. Sagaz is going to pick up a small key, come back to the room we had just visited, and head upward toward one of the mini-bosses after grabbing another small key. All you need to do for this mini-boss is just sprinkle 6 pieces of powder on him, and that'll lead us to our nightmare key, or boss key. So he does a super jump to get over these blocks, save us a little bit of time. And he's going to save and quit and then hard reset the game. And what this does is it puts us back at the beginning of the dungeon and also respawns all the rupees, which is, like I said, what we'll need for the frog song. As you can see, we are now very rich. I'm all for it. We fire 3 arrows at this rocky dude. Kill him right away. Once again, another demonstration of the arrow's strength as a weapon. Just overpowered. Coming up is probably the most difficult room in this dungeon. We call it the bingo room. You have to knock these 4, little thingies. People have a name for them, but I always forget it. Into their specifically colored holes. Sagaz is not a bad one. It's partly skill, how you respond to the luck you're given, that the luck that determines in which way, or in what they're literally called orb monsters. Well, that's simple. I don't know how I forget that. But you have to react to what directions they go, and then use your boomerang to knock them into the colored holes, and maybe your bracelet to throw them. But Saga's there, killing the... What's the beetle, hard hat, colory beetle thingy? with arrows, allowing us to grab the better color tunic. Evil Orb, right. Evil Orb. Of course, how could I forget? Gosh, I'm a fake fan. Anyways, kill him with, just 6 arrows, not too many. And that allows us to talk to the fairy, who grants us a new tunic. I trust both runners. Well, Sagaz, as we know, has already picked up the blue tunic, and I trust Xander will do the same. And the difference between the tunics is the blue tunic halves the damage you take, and the red tunic... Oh, yes, halves the damage you take, and the red tunic doubles the damage you give, and also increases your knockback. And you might think having the damage we take is... why would we really need that? But the main reasoning comes from the boss fight in D5, where the knockback effect of the red tunic will make the boss much more difficult. Additionally, the 20 seashell prize is the level 2 sword, which doubles the damage we take, and unfortunately that does not stack with the red tunic in boss fights, I think. Either way, we can make the blue doubles the damage we take today. You know, just because we want to make things a little bit more challenging because this game's so easy. Gonna need to double the damage we take, halve the damage we give. Now that's tunic. Anyway, that's why we have the blue tunic, in a very convoluted, roundabout way of explaining it. You'll see Xander here does a special little jump to get to this part of the signpost maze. Normally you're supposed to have the hook shot for that part, but we don't, but we want to finish the signpost maze now, so we just kind of jump over it, and you'll see Sagaz enjoying the definitely not best song in the game. I definitely do not think it's the best song in the game. This, you can quote me on this, I do not think it's the best song in the game. The frog song, which costs 300 rupees to learn on your ocarina, and gives us the last song that we'll need for 100%. Both runners making it through the signpost maze with little trouble. That place can be a pain if you accidentally talk to a signpost twice. But I suggest you turn your volume up. Isn't it just magnificent? I mean, horrible. Gosh, I hate the song. Gross. Okay. Jokes aside, Sagaz is going to swim down here to grab one of the most obscure pieces of heart, hidden away in the moats of Candlelit Castle, for whatever reason. And then head up to get another picture, which you can only get when you have the magnifying lens, because you can see Zora hiding here. And the mouse will come and take a picture. This mouse is, yellow. It's a different mouse. Of course it's not. It's the ghost of the mouse. They were right all along. Anyway, Sagaz will be making his way up to the Armos maze, which is where the D6 key is hiding. Hiding behind one of the tougher boss fights, which is the Armos Knight. Armos King? Armos King. Whatever, the big Armos. We're going to equip our shield for one of the first times here to bonk these Armoses out of the way so we can walk past them. Armos Knight? Armos Knight. Right, because it's the Moblin King. But meanwhile, we're going to pick up our 20th seashell, so that's exciting, right? The movement through here can be pretty tricky, because we have to make quite a few sharp turns, but both runners are experienced enough to not waste too much time. Right here, Sagaz is going to be doing arrow strats instead of boot strats. Arrow strats just involve shooting arrows into him. Pretty much what it sounds like, to kill him pretty quickly and pick up our D6 key. I think Xander will be doing boot strats, which is another variation of a kill on the Armos Knight, which involves using the boots and our sword instead of arrows. Both methods are fast, mostly for the fact that they kill the Armos Knight near the entrance of the room, which is important because it reduces the amount of time we spend walking. You also notice sometimes they just walk over the Armoses. This is because if you're clipped into an upper wall by 2 or 3 pixels, you can just walk right past a lot of enemies. Fortunately, Xander not able to get the fast version of boot strats, but still able to kill him quickly enough, not take any hits, and not deal with too much. And Xander has his D6 key and will be making his way up toward D6 as Sagaz is just about to enter our 6th dungeon, even though we haven't done D5 yet. But, you know, no one ever said we had to do them in order. D6, another interesting dungeon with quite a few menu optimizations. And you might see some variation. Sagaz here, equipping the Rock's Feather and arrows, and then equipping bombs in the bracelet, bombs to kill the Wizrobes, and the bracelet because we get one of the most useless items in the game here, the level 2 bracelet, which allows us to just pick up these heavy elephant statues in D6. This room, Saga's just gonna walk around, wait for all these tiles to be done. Blow up one early and throw a pot at the other to get it over with, and then throw an elephant at that door to open it for whatever reason. Kill all those Wizrobes with one bomb after hitting the other into the bomb. Then do a quick little super jump to get himself clipped into that wall, and skip quite a bit of the dungeon by that super jump, which allows us to access the boss key. He's going to do another trick here called a shack jump. By moving diagonally into an interactable object, we can do a super jump without being clipped. And this allows us to get back down into that lower level and then do a super jump up over to the side here. Then we're going to run through most of the dungeon backwards as we make our way to the boss. You also notice I never mentioned that they jump through uneven terrain like water and grass, because jumping always moves you at 16 subpixels per second, while the grass and the water will slow you down. Saga's right there getting pretty lucky with the horse heads there. Horse heads being these little, well, horse heads that you have to throw and hope that they land both right side up. You just have to keep throwing them until they both do that, so each horse head has a 1 in 2 shot of landing right side up, which means it's a 25% chance to get the horse heads both stood up on any given attempt, and you need to have them both stand up in order to make it through that room. Facade here is a very simple boss fight because we can actually attack him before he appears on the screen. So we can it takes 5 bombs to kill him, and we can get 3 bombs in before he even starts talking, which is, a little cheap, but, we do what we gotta do. And that's D6. Not too complicated, but fun dungeon nonetheless. See Xander coming up on horse heads. Hopefully he doesn't lose too much time against Sagas to them. It's like not first try. I shouldn't have said anything. Nine. 10. Oh, I really shouldn't have said anything. 11. I think that was 11 tries, so very unfortunate for Xander there. 4 tries is average because it's a 1 in 4 shot, so 11 tries is very unfortunate. Sagaz, you'll see there, did a bomb trigger going down through that transition, which skips the cutscene of the owl flying down to you. Still have to listen to his text boxes, but saves a bit of time. And then we're going to make our way, now that we have 20 seashells, up to the Seashell Mansion once more to get our 20 seashell prize, which, as we mentioned, is the level 2 sword. This is going to double our damage on most enemies and allow us to fire laser beams when we have full health, so that's pretty cool. Yes, very, just, you know, the love you give to LADX is the love it gives back, which is always nothing. It's a game, it can't feel love. It is merciless and ruthless. Anyways, short little split here. All we do, besides making our way to D5, is grab the level 2 sword. That level 2 sword is going to make just our lives a lot easier to kill enemies that would normally take 2 hits. Dive down here and make our way into the Catfish's Maw, D5. If we're going to see the runners even up, it's going to be in D5, because D5 contains a trick called early hook shot, which is a method of getting the hook shot early, obviously, instead of having to fight the, whatever you call it, the Stalfos Knight, 4 times. We can just spawn the small key in this room, as you'll see Sagaz do here, clip into the top wall, and then with our boomerang, grab the key and transition. Ooh, first try for Sagaz, which solidifies his lead even more. Basically, the game can only have one item stored in its memory of what you will get in a specific room, and in the pushable block room, it's a small key, but in the room to the left, it's a hook shot. So if you grab the small key and then transition to the left, the game will think, oh, you picked up an item in the left room, well then you must have picked up hook shot. The problem with this is you can have the perfect setup and do everything right. Master Stalfos, man, I'm weak. I'm weak on my game knowledge, at least in terms of the names of things. Anyways, Master Stalfos here. But you can have everything right for early hook shot, and it's still only a 50% chance whether or not you actually get the trick, because it's frame rule dependent. If you overkill Master Stalfos in that room there using 4 bomb arrows instead of 3, he'll actually drop a small key, which is pretty neat, very helpful. Right, Xander coming up on early hook shot here. Would really be nice for him to get this first try. Unfortunately, not the frame rule's not falling in his favor, so he'll have to give another shot to it here. As Sagaz clips into these blocks and fires his hook shot just a bunch of times to go right through it, make his way into that D2 section, the 2D section, which allows us to get to the boss fight pretty quickly. Xander not having any luck, looks like. Ooh, that's just brutal. Not like we said, nothing you can do when it comes to early hook shot. You can get it first try like Sagaz and save 30 seconds more, 40. Oh, he gets it 4th try, which is 2 tries worse than average. Average is 2 tries because it's a 1 and 2 shot. But unfortunately, XanderTje10_ is not able to make up time here in D5. In fact, is going to lose quite a bit compared to Sagaz. Sagaz there's going to get a 2 cycle on the eel, using our hook shot and our sword. That is the main appeal of the blue tunic, is that boss fight, because the knockback effect of the red tunic makes the iframes on the boss last much longer than they do with the blue tunic. It's still possible to 2 cycle with the red tunic, but certainly more difficult. Sagaz is going to use Mambo's Mambo once more out of D5 to come back to Mambo's Pond very quickly, because we need to make our way to D7. We don't need to grab the key like we normally would, because if you remember, we did early rooster skip a while ago, and early rooster skip allowed us to grab the D7 key.
Okay, so I didn't realize that voice chat just made me leave, and so I've been talking for literally a run and never realized that I was out of the voice chat.
Oh no! I was wondering what was wrong. I thought like maybe your internet cut out or just you had to go. So I was just like, guess it's time for me to shine. But that stinks.
Yeah, I mean,
that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know what. I heard no sound or anything like that indicated that I left, and I didn't check when you left if you were there or not. I should have done that first. Well, we can call this one of the great fails, the great memes of the tournament.
Yeah, and outside of a run.
I've literally been commentating, feeling like I've been commentating alone the entire time.
Oh my god, so you've just been sitting in your house talking to yourself about this game.
Yes. So, good practice, I guess, for the next time.
I'm definitely happy to have you back. I think I held down the fort well. Boyd says I did, so
it sounds like it. I thought like as soon as you stopped talking, I was like, "What? I guess his internet cut out because it happened earlier."
Right? Yeah, I don't have the best net, so that's believable.
It turns out, for whatever reason, I just somehow left the chat. More than an hour late. Oh man! Wow, that
still got 15 minutes.
I'm definitely going to be checking more often in the future next time I'm commentating. Just check every 10 minutes or so and make sure I'm still in.
Idea. Well, at least you weren't doing this one alone, so I was able to. So it wasn't just silence.
Yeah, no kidding, right? It would have been. Someone would have said something, though. I think that.
Right? Someone must have. But.
Okay. Well.
We're all here now.
Yeah. You can continue soloing it if you want.
I don't mind. I definitely have a knack for it more now than I did an hour ago. Once I realized, looks like I gotta step it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Back to the race, I guess. Sagaz made his way up to D7. Xander trying to do the same. D7, we just tear right through.
Yeah, with the bomb triggers. Xander got so unlucky this run.
Yeah, it's been tough to watch. Just early hook shot and horse heads. Nothing going his way, it feels like.
So earlier in my lonely commentary, I pointed out shaft jumping, and that we're going to be doing one in D7.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Now, at least, yep, there's the shaft jump. The ghosts that live in Zintra's house that were waiting to see it.
Yeah. Here comes Goomba Surf.
Notice we were able to do bomb triggers on all 4 of the pillars there to skip ever having to get the little metal ball that we usually throw into the pillars. But yeah, upcoming is a trick called Goomba Surf. If you clip into this wall as far as you can and then do a super jump when the Goomba moves to the right, as Sagaz just did there, you can skip both the boss key and the slower version of skipping the boss key and get us right up to the Evil Eagle fight. Sagaz getting it.
Good
Sagaz getting second try is good luck. Usually it's 4th try is average because the Goomba can move in
Swag jump.
Oh, let's go, Xander.
Trying to save the time, save as many frames as he possibly can. He's watching. I know he's watching.
He needs to. If he wants to make a comeback, it has to start with the frames.
Yeah. He's got to hope he gets first try Goomba Surf.
It's true. And with the way this run has gone so far, I wouldn't count on it.
Maybe Sagaz will decide to do Plano skip and invalidate his run.
Perhaps Sagaz will mess up saving and quitting, or buffering save and quit as he falls off the cliff here. Just a thought. He might do it. I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever done that before, but he might.
I think he'd probably still be ahead. Unless Amber got
Probably. Anything to make the race closer. But still, Xander putting up a... Really not... I mean, things can happen. Weirder things have happened in this game, so it's definitely not over.
Indeed. Sagaz could get 1,000,000 blue balls.
It's true. It's not impossible.
Both of them getting the shack jump. That shack jump
Very
is
nice.
probably the most nerve-wracking part of the entire game, the late game. Because if you fall, you lose an eternity of time.
Yeah. So just frustrating to deal with.
Alright, comes Zoomerang.
Boomerang. Best trick in the game. Zoom.
Boom. Next to me as well, the entire time I was trying to eat it really quietly.
That's just a funny image. Zitro eating quietly alone in his house while he talks about
To himself,
race.
thinking
Yeah,
he's
talking to
talking to
himself
everyone
about
else.
race. And
Oh
wouldn't you
my
know it,
goodness, man.
Xander is getting bad
Bad
luck with
luck,
the Goombas.
Oh, now he gets the good luck, but
he
he's
gets
getting... I think he got knocked out. Oh, he didn't! He gets it!
Okay, good. Thank goodness. Saga's getting the very last capacity upgrade with the powder here.
In this one, we can say
Very
yes to.
Yes, finally we can say, yes, we want more powder. Chin, you're able to kill the evil eagle while he's off the screen using our hook shot, thanks to a saving quote we did earlier. Because his hitbox just resides off the bottom of the screen, and the game's like, yeah, I guess you're hitting him.
I was barely clipped in for flame skill.
Mhm.
But you get the level 2 shield, which you're supposed to use to get past the flames, but it turns out you can skip it by just clipping into the wall.
Damage boosting right through it. This, makes the level 2 shield just supremely useless.
Yep. You get it because it's part of 100% requirement. That's the only reason we get
Only
it.
reason. Sagaz there does a moniker to wake up the dragon, and instead of using the frog song, and then
Being a
also
turtle.
just runs right through its head, because for some reason its head doesn't have a hitbox, and that loading zone is always there, so you can just walk right into the 8. Sagaz doing a trick here called Bookshot, which allows us to bypass this key block and make it into this 2D section as we make our way to Blano.
And we have to fight Blano because there is possible to go over, land on like the bottom tile, the bottom middle tiles there. There's a little unclipped super jump that you can do. If you have some pixel value of 0, you can do unclipped super jumps. Otherwise, it's random. Or seems to be random. But you can skip them by going out of bounds, which is not allowed in this category.
Yes, by this game's rule set, that is an out-of-bounds tile, so instead we have to fight Blano. Fortunately, the Blano fight is very simple.
It used to be allowed.
Yeah.
And
The good
then
old
we...
days. Just said,
the good old
this
days.
is cheating. This is now cheating.
There was quite a bit of contention surrounding that too.
Mhm.
A lot of players wanted to keep it because you're not actually like going on
Yeah, it's not
like,
traditional
on the
out of
wall
bounds.
tiles or anything. Yeah,
You're
but
going
it's
where
still out of
something
bounds.
is, you're able to stand on it, so it seems like. But
I don't know
for
if
the
you
game,
noticed, but
just to keep rules consistent.
yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but Xander was actually so clipped into the wall there, he went below the stairs against the ledge.
It didn't. Missed it.
And quickly adapting to it. This room is pretty stressful too because it's slow and you do not want to rush it.
And if you mess it
You
up,
have to leave and do it all again.
do it all again. As we control this Roomba, we have to fill in every square, which allows the boss key to spawn. And
You can actually
Sagaz-
move while moving it. And
Pretty
so,
cool.
Yeah.
I always like the term.
allows-
I always like moving. I like calling moving during the Roomba surf. It hasn't caught on yet, but I think it's got a nice ring to it. It's like
I like
Roomba
that.
Surf.
That's
Roomba
fun.
Surf.
Roomba surf.
Just to make anything to make
We
that.
need to have with the word surf in it.
Exactly. We should just rename every single trick in this game something surf. Saga's here
Solid
fighting.
hothead there. That's
Wow.
pretty tough to
Very,
pull out that quickly.
pretty much perfect.
You get the
One
text skip?
cycle and then, yep, and also the text skip.
That's pretty much the fastest you can do it.
Yeah. Well done. Dang, boys.
Hothead, we weren't not earlier this year. We figured out like why he seemed to take random damage. It turns out there's certain areas on the bottom and the right side of the room where he just won't take damage. Also, if he's not moving, he won't take damage. So that's why it seemed like he took a random amount of hits. It's because people were hitting him when he was in those areas that he couldn't take damage.
Fortunately, we did figure it out to make him just a little more consistent. Still a difficult fight to do in one cycle, but
Yeah.
just much less frustrating now that we understand it.
Yeah.
With that, Sagaz has all of the instruments and all of the things he needs for 100%. He can make his way up to the Windfish's egg.
There's only one thing he needs to do. Another bomb trigger.
Of course.
Oh, and also, actually, several more bomb triggers.
We have lots of bomb triggers. If you haven't noticed it yet, this run contains lots of bomb triggers.
So we're not going to play the ocarina because,
Of course, because that's
we
slow.
don't get to hear song. You do get to hear song 3, the frog song, one more time though.
Yes, so,
For Death I
thank
Skip.
goodness. Yep. Notice there, Xander was able to grab the piece of heart with his boomerang. Once again, the boomerang demonstrating its ability to transcend space and time by just morphing through walls. Always good. Always exciting.
It's better than it is.
Looks like Xander's doing his own version of Roomba Surf.
Oomba Surf sounds better than it is too.
True.
This is another path you can do to get to the Nightmare Key. So, Saga's in the egg now, so he's gonna make his way through the maze. If you went to the library and looked at the book, then the path you need to take through the maze is different. But if you don't do that, there's a default left, up, right, up, left, up. And,
Be that every
Yeah.
time. Fortunately, it'll be that every time if you never looked at it. And Sagaz is gonna spam bombs as he falls into this pit with the nightmare in it to skip some text and also try and do the blob quick
Minute.
kill.
He's going to be doing a manip. The reason, another advantage to doing the text skips, not only does it save time by not using text, but it also grooves the music. And believe it or not, the music in this game actually rolls the random number generator. And that, because now we don't have the music to influence the RNG of this game, we can do that instead by going to specific pixels. And that allows us to always get energy balls from this boss, as long as we do it right. If we screw it up, then there's 50-50 chance of him throwing a blue ball at you, which wastes time.
Used to be one of the most frustrating parts of the game was getting to Aghanim and just having him fire tons of blue balls at you.
Yep.
Thank goodness we have a manip for both the blob and Aghanim now.
Yeah, there's actually 100% of the fight can now be basically manipulated and done with no RNG in 100%. Not so much in any percent. Any percent, that's 2 buffers he needs to do. Any percent... Why is he doing instant? It's too early. Really? Huh.
You can kill that with the boomerang.
Yeah.
I mean, I know. Oh, and Xander throwing for content. You love to see it. Look at those pictures. All 12 of them. And
Go look at the pictures.
He's with the 117.47.
You guess the 117. That would have been a world record a long time ago.
Yeah, and still that's second place, I think. Look at these pictures.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey. Oh, you got your 117.
It's been a long
Congratulations,
time.
man.
Thank you.
Really, Nice run. Very fun to
Xander's
watch.
decided to throw up content and look at all the pictures.
Very lucky run, actually. Pretty
Yeah,
much
you got
everywhere.
really good
That
RNG.
was-
Like,
Yes,
throughout.
pretty much everywhere. Everywhere. Maybe except early rooster skip. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. What more can you really ask for? The game's gonna give you all that. You can't be can't be upset
best-
about early rooster skip at all.
Best song is best split now.
This song is best split now, yes.
Very nice.
Well, GG on that run.
GG's, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that's the best
literally
time.
no. You're the only player with a
So far.
117 right now, so
And then you just put one out.
Nobody's
in
gonna be
a
beating that
tournament
anytime soon.
setting.
Yeah, it's the best time on race too. Yes, but actually
Yeah.
on SRL it's not put on Endo, sadly.
Oh,
So it will
unfortunate.
not. It will not be there, I guess. Maybe you can, if you can change the category, but that's okay. I mean,
Okay.
I was pretty much at the beginning. I was like furious because I did really stupid mistakes, like D1. I just what I did on D1. I don't
Hit the
remember.
button. The
Oh,
button
yeah,
you have to stand
the
on to get the
button.
key.
And I
Also
forgot
got
to
knocked
menu
in by the
correctly.
traps.
I forgot to menu correctly on the favors. I was like pissed off, and I did some other stupid mistake, but the rest was pretty good.
Just to the run. Very consistent, very solid.
E3 gave you a little trouble there. The
Oh
shield
yeah,
bump.
D3.
Oh, that shield bump.
3 times in a row on race that I failed that.
Oh man.
On runs, normally I got like D3 is one of my strongest dungeon,
Mhm.
and on race I always failed that. That's stupid.
Xander
I
needs
think
to
I have
go
to
up.
walk.
There you go.
Okay. I was gonna say.
So what did Zonda? Zonda.
Xander had a little bit of trouble. He got, I think, what solidified it. He was falling behind in the mid game pretty consistently, and then fourth try early hook shot pretty much solidified your lead over him,
Yeah.
if I recall correctly.
The only way he was going to catch up at that point was for you to get bad luck and him get good luck,
Mhm.
which did not happen. The exact
Yeah, the
opposite
reverse,
happened, actually. So it was like, oh, and he
They're not getting
got
the
the
nip.
nip again. What is he having so much trouble with the nip?
Ah.
He's, I don't know. Oh, did he forget to set the baguette mode again?
Probably. No. Well, we might be here a while.
Yeah.
Not
Let's see
too
how many he
long.
gets.
Ooh, another one.
I see
Four, I
Xander doing a lot of slashes when he's here. He should not, to be honest. Oh, he can. That's a yellow ball. 100%.
Because if Aghanim goes back to the same spot after firing a blue ball, all you have to do is go 1 pixel to the right or left in the same vertical pixel, and he'll fire an energy ball in the next shot. So Xander able to make it. The next phase is the fight.
He
Hopefully
missed
get-
ball down.
Ethel
He's
He's
skip
gonna be
here,
going. He's gonna be going unbuffered because why not?
of course. A little bit off.
He's just gonna keep doing it. Oh,
That's good content.
oh, he's gonna keep doing it. He's gonna get it.
We're whipping out now.
That's bad. Okay, he will. Okay.
Ah.
Go back in the spot. Go back in the spot.
Xander, just kill it.
You just keep spamming the song until he gets it.
He will get it eventually.
Fortunately, the times you get doesn't influence your placement. It's just whether or not you win or lose. So he's
Points differential will get affected, and that's what everyone really should care about.
yeah, he gave up. He's gonna do it with arrows now. So you could actually kill Death Eye with Boomerang in 1 hit, but he's gonna do it with arrows. Just
16
because,
arrows
you know,
instead.
Why not, right?
Oh,
Might
shout
as well
out to the
practice.
other categories.
I hope he will
8%
do
practice.
15 arrows and a bomb.
Yes, there's a bomb.
Oh, he's
He's
getting
getting
the
pretty good
instant
RNG.
too. Oh,
That's-
never mind.
He doesn't die. Please don't die. Xander, please don't die. Xander. Got him.
Bombs. Use boomerang. Aw.
Well done.
Boom! Right in the head.
The island is saved. Huzzah. And
Well, you got
Xander-
sub 124, so I guess that's good.
No, not a bad. And after all that, not a horrible time.
GG.
GG's.
GG. Hello.
No words, I
sound
guess.
from-
Oh, I guess Zonda have problem.
Yeah, so it's just for whatever reason, sound can be finicky in here.
You guys are the first people to ever have this sound issue. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I've not
Really?
had this before. Well, I've had it happen once, in the past month out of the whole time I've been restreaming. So it's a weird issue that I'm assuming your community has it. It must be contagious to you guys.
Maybe.
But,
Is it also unusual for people just to randomly leave and not realize for an hour?
honestly, I thought I missed something, and I didn't want to call you out. So I was like, I'm sure he'll be back, and then I completely forgot. I apologize.
Oh, don't worry about it. Happy gets the good practice that way.
Yeah, I mean, it led
And it led to a great
good
beat.
comedy.
Yeah.
So me panicking just a little bit.
I mean, you did well, like I said, so no worries. I'd be happy to have you on comms anytime in the future, solo
that's-
or duo.
Hi, I can hear you.
Oh,
Hey, there we go.
hey,
We can hear you.
Great.
Hey, so how'd your run go?
It was beautiful.
Got to see all the pictures for once.
See, the thing was, did I have a chance to win? Yes. Was that a big chance? No. And then he pulled this 117 out of his ass. And I'm like, I'm gonna go with content.
I'm sorry.
And you got terrible RNG for the whole run.
Oh, yeah.
it was horrible.
Yeah, very.
To be honest, I got pretty close to the best possible RNG on this one.
Yeah.
Not even kidding.
Your world record had slightly worse than Berserk. I think that was about it. That was
Yeah.
the only bad RNG you got in the entire run.
Yeah, I need to go
Alright,
back
well.
and look at that manip because that failed for no reason.
What minute?
Agony manip?
Again?
Yeah, it failed again. I don't know what I did.
To be honest, you should
they get more
stop. You should stop slashing for nothing. It affect. You just when you do that, you just change the position of Aganim, and
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter,
maybe it can change stuff. Like when I'm doing the manip, I always do the same thing.
right? You buffer sword
And
out of the
yeah.
spin slash?
Yeah, out of the spin, and I always got pretty much the same Aganim, pretty much every time.
Yeah, I find the same thing happens for me. He has a tendency to go to the same positions.
Yeah, and when you hear me doing runs, I said every time the same thing. It will go on position 1, hey, position 1. It will go on position 3, hey, position 3. Always, it's always like that.
Let's go to 6 for me. A lot.
Yeah, sometimes you do 1-6-6-6, which is I'm afraid about that.
It did happen recently. I got 3-6 positions in a row.
which is 2-time blue ball, by the way. So
No, my early game was actually pretty good, and then it all started to go downhill, starting with ERS.
It's very
Both of
close
you-
from the beginning.
Both of you were neck and neck for
Yeah, both with sub 450
most of the
or
beginning,
51s,
most of the early game.
and trading the
probably-
lead back and forth. pretty much done through D2.
It's probably because of my D1.
Bad Villa skip.
I think
Villa
D-
skip. Yeah, Sagaz got Villa
Wednesday,
skip.
third one, yeah.
First
Villa skip,
try.
first try, yes.
It was crazy.
I fell into 2 pits. 2 different pits, I should add.
But yeah, I buffer a lot on early with skip. I think it was like 7 or 8.
I
Which is a lot.
fell in the
It
room
was pretty
before
bad.
ERS. And then I got like a 3 buffer.
Ah, yeah, that was a shame. Falling on ERS, because could have
Yeah.
gained a bit of time on him.
And the thing is, I jumped just a little bit short on the dash jump. That threw me off, so I jumped early on the little jump.
Oh.
That was sad. Also, for the ZSR people, for the love of God, will you stop putting an underscore in my name?
You mean at the end of it?
Yeah. There's no
That-
underscore.
look, okay. This is imported from. This information is actually imported from what's it called?
From
Speedrun's
SRL.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
only have an underscore because I got locked out of my old account
Why?
because I forgot the password.
But why? Why don't you change it? Pretty sure you can.
I can't
Write
change
it
the
down.
name that exists.
Or just from now on, you will be known as XanderTje10, and then with a pause
Understood.
after it.
okay. So I just attempted. I cannot change it. So
Oh, your new
sorry.
name.
So unless we move over to rt.gg, then you're stuck with that for a while.
Yeah, I'll shoot Alpha a message. He can probably fix it.
Yeah. So you're stuck with the underscore for a while, buddy. You might as well give it a hug and settle your differences with it.
Never. So as I was doing Death'll Skip, I was like, hey, wait, I shouldn't be doing this. There's more content to be created.
Yeah. There is. Oh, Xander, I don't know if you could hear the commentary throughout the run.
No.
No, okay, so at one point, for whatever reason, I just left the commentary channel and didn't realize for like an hour.
An hour?
Yeah. I was talking to myself for an hour. I thought Happy had left.
Turns out,
And I just never occurred to me to check.
Good job.
talking to
So
himself.
we got tons of content from that alone. The last half of the run was like just making fun of me for that.
Good content. Good content.
Yep.
Came back just in time for the content.
True.
Alrighty. Well, we got another race coming up at in half an hour, I believe.
Ew.
Against who is it again?
It's like Matt and Nitros.
Matt and Nitros. Okay, well, I won't say who is obviously gonna win that, but we'll see.
It's Matt.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be Matt.
Taking this one home.
Nitros is gonna
Nitro
throw.
is gonna get stuck fishing the pond.
He's gonna forget this is a hundo tourney and not a fish the pond percent tourney. I accidentally end early and disqualify himself.
And tomorrow we got another race between myself and GlyphDX.
A good
At
one.
same time as the race coming up.
I'm
4
rooting for
o'clock
you
PM
so I
East.
can fight Glyph in round 4.
I would love to fight Sagaz and like lose honorably to him.
You have to win them.
Yeah, that's the problem. I have to win against Glyph, and he actually can definitely beat me.
Any one of you wins, fight with me after
To the death.
to the death.
Maybe we can just race anyway, no matter who wins.
No, fight. It's better.
No racing.
No, we'll fight. We'll fight.
Can you at least record it so I can put it on ZSR as well?
You
True.
can try. We're gonna grab actual Game Boys. And we're gonna walk and beat each other in person and fight each other with our Game Boys in person.
I figured we could just make a battle royale version of LADX.
How would that?
Fun. That would be so much fun.
All spawn in different points of the island and have to get bomb arrows and swords and stuff. That might actually be fun. Someone smarter than me should make that.
It sounds like it would be an expansion of the randomizer, honestly. Like having that kind of thing, like maybe like a multi-world expansion or something like that.
Yeah, like if there's a way of getting 2 players to be like on the same screen at the same time.
Is it possible?
See each other and interact like that. If that's possible, we could totally do it.
With emulators, probably. I don't know how well the emulators would cope with that. You'd have to ask a smarter person.
Probably
somebody will probably know.
There's already like a co-op. You can do a run co-op with someone. Like when you got an item, the two players have the item. It's pretty nice.
But it's I don't think the 2 players can be on the same screen at the same time.
Yeah, it's more difficult to get them on the same screen because of latency and stuff. Because like one person could literally be in a wall trying to sync that shit up, you know.
It might be better to just find like another game that you can do multiplayer and make a Homeland Island in that game somehow. I'm sure there's a game out there like that. And then do it like that.
Just play a survival game.
Yeah, some like Minecraft or something, you know.
Anyways,
Minecraft could probably do it.
This is going greatly off topic. We should probably end things off here. Any final comments from the 2 of you?
Content
for me.
baby.
Thanks for the content, Xander.
I will say just thank you for everyone watching. Thank you, Zintro and Happy for commentary, and thank you Zero Sour for hosting.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And thank you 2 for running and showing us the picture book, of course, Sander.
There's a lot of pictures we don't get to see when doing the run.
But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I don't know, hang on, let me actually quickly check this. The next Link's Awakening race will be on ZSR 1. So I'm going to host things over to the Minish Cap randomizer stream and end things off here. So thank you everyone for watching, and see you guys in about 20 minutes on the main channel. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Cheers.